Good afternoon. Welcome to my channel. I'm Sunshiny Day, and this is Tarot by Sunshiny Day. Okay, so happy 11/11/2022. 11/11 is a day that you can find reflection. You can find openings. Apparently, it's a day where there could be potential openings to some sort of portal. I don't know if it's a spiritual portal or what, but it could be. And it's a day for manifestation, for meditation, for finding yourself, for setting your manifestations and finding momentum. And so I hope you start your day out by setting your manifestation and keeping the momentum going. So today I come to you because a little explanation. I am on YouTube a lot because I watch other metaphysical videos and tarot card readers and such. That's my main platform that I watch on social media. But by and by, because I'm a little bit on the political side, these politicians or these videos will come across my feed, and I'll watch them, and because I get down a rabbit hole. Some of these videos of these, I guess you could call them right-wing believers, if you want to say that. I don't want to call them extremists because I don't like labeling people, but I know they would be considered right-wing. But they're normally younger people, and a lot of them are tired of what is going on in mostly America as far as cancel culture and pushing, thought pushers, I guess you could say. And so they just have videos and podcasts on how they feel about all that. Well, I came across this one, and his name is Andrew Tate. He's a social media influencer, and he's been labeled a misogynist, which I find to be true. I find that to be true on his social media platforms. So Andrew Tate was born December 14th, 1986. He's a Sagittarius. His father was a chess player and his mother was into catering. He's also has a background in kickboxing. He was actually on Big Brother, and he got kicked off because there was a video posted on one of the social media platforms where he was using a belt on a woman. I don't know the details of it, but apparently she said that they were friends and it was consensual, but he got kicked off of there anyways. He converted to Islam, and he's considered homophobic, racist, and as I said, he's also known as a misogynist. So I thought I would do a reading on a few of these personalities that I watch, because it's strange. Some of them, the girls that I've watched, some of them have converted from being ultra liberal to being ultra right wing or conservative. And they often explain why, and then I find myself agreeing with them on some things and then disagreeing with them on some things, and I like to stay in the middle of things because that's just, I'm just a centrist. But I thought I would do a reading on a few of these people. And so I'm going to start out with Andrew Tate. And as I said, he's a Sagittarius. So there's a little saying that I got from a book that I wrote down, and it says, how many Sagittarians does it take to screw in a light bulb? 1 and 11 other signs to revolve around him. Now, from what I've seen on his podcasts and other social media with Andrew Tate, that couldn't fit him better. That's hilarious. So, also, it says that, Sagittarians search for the meaning in life. They're the gypsy, they're the student, they're the philosopher, all rolled into one. No other sign is focused on finding life's basic truth Sagittarians burn with this need to understand, and as a malleable sign, they thrive on changes this search can provide. So they're good. They're okay with rolling with the punches and going through changes. And I would say that was true of Andrew Tate because he's been so many things. His dad was a chess player, and Andrew Tate also played chess. I guess he was pretty good at it. He was a kickboxer. He's a social media influencer. He was on Big Brother, and he's converted from, I don't know, from Christianity to Islam. I'm not sure. So he's not afraid to change. In fact, I think he probably likes change. He's a fire sign. His element is fire. Let me see what else. His anatomy is liver, hips, and thighs. He does have nice lips, so he probably also has nice thighs, and he probably has a healthy liver, or the opposite. Either way, Andrew Tate needs to take care of everything related to the liver. In other words, filtration. Let me see what else it says. Okay, famous celebrities are Brad Pitt, Ben Stiller, Lucy Liu, Britney Spears, Woody Allen, Kim Basinger, and Walt Disney. Well, all those people are very dynamic and very beautiful people. And of course, this tarot suit is Wands, which is the fire element. And his card is the major arcana, the Chariot. And that makes sense too because he's a go-getter. He advances himself quickly, and he doesn't mind change. So that all fits really well. So I did a reading on Andrew with my tarot cards, and I pulled the cards earlier, and I came up with the Five of Pentacles, the Five of Cups, and let me put them the way that they came up here so you guys can look at them that way. The Judgment card and the Hangman. That one was that way. That was that way. That was that way, and that was that way. Yeah. So the Hangman is in reverse. Judgment is upright. The Five of Cups is upright. And then the Five of Pentacles is in reverse. Okay, so I was looking at this before I started the video, and I studied it for a minute, and it's funny because everything is synchronized, just like today is 11/11. That's about synchronicity. And when I read his sign, his reading also comes up with some very similar scenarios. So, and this is just a current reading on Andrew. So, it's just about his current personality or what he might be feeling in his head. And most of my tarot card readings come out to be like a spiritual reading, like where they are spiritually. Like some people just want to know about money or love or job, and most of my readings can help people with that, but then it also ends up with a story of how they can achieve that through their spirit life, their spiritual life. And so he did convert, I guess, like I said, from Christianity maybe to Islam. And so the first card shows here that he is what I would refer to as he's going through some sort of time in his life that has made him feel down. His spirit's down. He has a spiritual poverty is what I would say. He's going through something in his spirit. Now he looks he looks for the spirit, but because Andrew Tate vacillates in between the spirit and the ego, he's confused. The spirit tells him the right thing to do, but his ego gets the better of him. And that's what social media does. And I mean, the guy is famous, so, and I guess he's probably worth millions. Okay, so the Five of Cups. To me, the Five of Cups says that instead of seeing the glass half full, you see it half empty. And instead of seeing the positive, which would be here, he's seeing the negative. All he sees is negative. But see, like, I would consider this is spirit and this is ego. And the ego gets the better of him. And he has the spirit, but he's more in tune with the ego, and that's why he gets so confused. And when he's alone, he often contemplates and stays alone, maybe in a room, or when he's driving around in his car, it might happen, or just before he goes on the air or something. Something happens where he likes to be alone with his thoughts, and it's almost like what he does online and on his podcasts and whatnot is like a facade. Which leads into the Judgment card. Now, the Judgment card, to me, says that he's going to have some sort of awakening of the spirit because he knows the spirit's there. But he doesn't allow it to lead him. You know, he's very successful and he probably is good at manifesting, which is the spirit. But he's also very material, which is the ego. And so he's going to have, it looks like he's going to have some sort of epiphany or an awareness will arrive, and he will he'll go in a different direction. He might still be on social media, but I don't think it's going to be all about him having women on his podcast and trying to prove that women are inferior and bringing on these bimbos that he has that, you know, he doesn't ever bring very intelligent women on his podcast. I don't like to judge people, but that's just how I see it. The girls are always beautiful, and most of them are social media influencers who influence with their physical attributes, and that's how they make their money. And I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, you know. If you can do it, go for it. But it doesn't lead to having a very deep spirit when you do that. And so that's the kind of girls he brings on, and you know, it's a weird dynamic because that's the kind of girl that he likes almost. Like he likes the girl who's gonna look good at all times and serve her master, if you will. But then these girls also want to have their own gig. You know what I mean? They want to have say in their life, and that's the part that he doesn't like. Or if they do have say in their life, he has to approve of it. And the girls that he brings on they're not all about that. And so then, and then it was the hangman in reverse. And so I think what's going to happen is, because he's so popular where he's at right now, this awakening or epiphany. Now, this is the Judgment card, so it might happen after something big happens. Like, it's already pretty big that he got kicked off of or Big Brother. He got kicked off of Big Brother, and then he's also been kicked off of some social media platforms because of his content. You know, that's a pretty big judgment in itself, but that's all in the ego. Something else bigger than that might happen. Oh, he was also under investigation for potentially kidnapping a girl and having him in her house. I think it was in the Ukraine or somewhere where he his main home is, but the government there didn't find anything out about it. But anyway, so he's had a history, and so but something even bigger might come along, which will force him to see this, because he'll get tired of all this. So he's going to have some sort of awakening, but it's going to be put on hold because this is where the money's at. This is his persona that he's created. And like I said, he doesn't mind change, but he can't just flip over on a dime and his whole social media comes crashing down. He's got to kind of like plan it out in order for the transition to take place smoothly. So that's what I see. I see Andrew Tate as going through some spiritual poverty. He's not as happy as he might lead people to believe, although he doesn't really try to lead people to believe that he's happy. He actually acts like he's kind of miserable. I don't know if that's true or if that's just part of the persona, but this is what the card says. And so he's going to get tired of all this. He's going to get tired and he's going to have an awakening, but it's going to be put on hold because of his current situation. He still wants to be on the forefront of social media, but underneath he's moving on from that. So then what I did was I picked a card from Ascended Masters Oracle by Doreen Virtue, and these cards are very they're spot on, I guess I should say, the answers they give. This is how I work with my tarot card readings. I give a reading and then I wrap it up with some sort of oracle card, normally from Doreen Virtue, but I have other cards too, but I normally use hers. And I mean, it just seals the deal as far as how the reading went. And this is no different. Because I got this card. It says come out of the closet. Now, it's not come out of the closet as, some people think, he's not gay or anything like that. He's just going to be coming out of the closet with it's almost like a butterfly, like, coming out of your cocoon or the cocoon. He's going to be coming out of himself, and he's going to be introducing his new self. And as with anything, when you come out as a new persona, because we go through cycles in life, and sometimes the new cycles we have, some people are cast aside, some people move along with you, and others just are kind of in and out until they're not there anymore. You know what I mean? Because when you change, your thoughts change, and some of the people that you were around before they don't serve you anymore. And so that's what's going to happen to him. He's going to come out of the closet, so to speak, as this card says, and he's going to reveal who he wants to be. And the meaning of the card further states, it's time to make your real feelings and beliefs known. This card asks you to reveal who you really are to yourself and others. This may involve having a heart-to-heart discussion with a loved one or allowing other people to see your true nature. You will be spiritually supported in this process, and that's because it's a spiritual awakening. And the Ascended Masters will help you be as lovingly honest. Be lovingly honest. As a result of coming out, your relationships will deepen because you'll know that you're loved for who you really are. Yeah, so because of this type of personality, it's difficult to know who is really there for you and all that. And I mean, he might even still have his podcast, but I think he's, having the girls on there are going to go by the wayside, and it's going to have like a softer edge to it. Even though he does have rough, pointy edges, he can move forward with his new spiritual life, and still attract many people. Like he'll be, he'll still be an influencer. And then the god on here is a Matarashu, and I never know how to say. Oh, here it is, a Matarashu. Okay, a Matarashu. She's a Japanese Shinto sun goddess who was so bright and radiant that her parents sent her to heaven, where she now shines down upon humanity. Amaterasu became upset when her brother, the storm god, was demolishing the planet, so she hid herself in a cave in protest. And the world grew dark and cold. The other gods tried everything to coax her out. Nothing worked until they finally put a mirror at the cave entrance. When Amaterasu saw her bright and beautiful reflection, she finally came out of the cave. You can call upon her to increase your self-esteem and reveal your true self to others. And so that's that. That's my reading on this social media influencer named Andrew Tate. And again, he's a Sagittarius. He is known to be misogynistic, like I said, which I find to be true. He's been kicked off of social media platforms for his extremeness. But I think he's moving past that and is moving into a more spiritual life. It might even be, one with Islam, because he is Islamic, although I don't know if if he practices Islam the way many people do. And that is my reading on him. And I hope you enjoyed this reading, and I hope you have a good rest of your day on 11/11. Try to start manifesting. Try to start seeing what 11/11 offers you and how you can move past things that are in your life that hold you back from being the true self. And, try to understand the difference between the spirit and the ego. And the spirit is love, and the ego is lies. The ego is fear. And the spirit is fulfillment. And when we find that, we find the true self, and we find that the world is an illusion. And again, my name is Sunshiny Day, and this is my channel is Tarot by Sunshiny Day. And I hope you subscribe and like. And as always, peace out.